Right. The lever's being sought for that person. Is there any objection to that course of action being taken? Well, I want to find out whether there's any objection to that course of action being taken. There is none. There is no objection. The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I think the House may be in some degree of difficulty here because we were, in fact, as I understood it from my colleague's previous point of order, which sought clarification from the Speaker as to whether the proper process was for the member to table individually the documents which he's now collectively referring to. And we were seeking guidance from the Speaker on the propriety of that practice. Now, in fact, the opposite has now occurred. The member has not only sought to speed things up by tabling not only a collective group of documents, but in fact by not even naming the documents and tabling them as a genus. And Mr. Speaker, we'd welcome your guidance, Mr. Speaker.
Well, can I just speak to the point of order? Right.
The point of order of my colleague's entirely right. I was just trying to save this House time, but to do it properly, the correct way to do it is for me to table them city by city, one at a time. That's what I now wish to do, and seek leave to do just that. So, could I move first of all that the associated company documents and holderships of the City of Christchurch be the first company for the first set of documents that I table.
Right, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
The member's present action now doesn't satisfy the point because he's, rather than tabling a group of CCO's documents from different jurisdictions, he's still tabling a group of documents from each one. And the House does not have knowledge, Mr. Speaker, of the nature of the individual documents, and therefore members in good conscience are unable to ascertain whether they should grant or withhold leave on a document-by-document basis. So I'd like, through you, Mr. Speaker, to invite the member to be more specific in the description of the documents. Can
I just say to the members that where a member has a number of documents, speakers in the past have allowed them to be tabled together. It's a matter for the Speaker. The Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
I'm just wondering if somebody groans, sir. I just wonder if they're in pain. Sir, is it a matter...
Order.
Somebody's let the billows out again.
Order.
Sir,
Order.
Is it a matter... Could I ask you, is it a matter... McDonald's is still open. Sir, is it a matter for you to decide, not challenging...
Order. Now, I know it's getting late. Can I ask the members to show some courtesy to each other? It's not impossible, you know. And so, when there is a point of order on the floor, as there is at the moment, being taken by the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove, I expect all other members to show some restraint. The Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Thank you, sir. If I could start again. The point I was making, and not challenging your ruling, but you said it is I think the word you used is it's a decision for yourself as Speaker as to whether a list of documents is tabled as a list or individually. Could I ask you to consider that? Because I thought that was in the hands of the tabler, unless the member sought to table a list of documents in one hit. So I don't know if it's a matter, it may be, sir, I may be wrong, whether it's a matter for you to determine whether Mr. Peters has to table the list in toto, or whether whether he can do it individually, or whether that is a decision that is for the member, Mr. Peters, to make. Now, he sought to table, I don't know what the document is, a Christchurch document. That wasn't in the list because I took some notes. In the previous list that he put forward, I take it it's a new document. And what my colleague David Cunliffe is simply seeking is, given we've had a hell of a lot of documents tabled tonight, there has been some confusion, in fairness to the Chief Government Whip and others, there's been some confusion as to the content and nature of those documents, that we would hope that Mr. Peters could determine whether he tables a list, whether he tables it individually, and that he's allowed to, and required actually, to give a fulsome description of what the documents are, because we on this side may choose to object, Mr Brownlee's side may choose to object. But I come back to the main point I was making, and that is it a decision for you as to whether a member tables a list or individually, or is that a decision that is up to the discretion of the member unless he requests that he table the documents collectively and requests that of you, sir?
Well, can I just say to the member and advise the House that where a member has a number of documents, as the Right Honourable Winston Peters did, speakers have allowed them to be tabled together. Now, where the practice is unclear, the Speaker rules. The member sought leave to table a number of documents together. That's what he sought leave for. So I am going to put that the leave be granted. Is there any objection to that course of action being taken? It's already done. There is no objection. The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave for the House to take the following course of action immediately upon the vote being taken on government notice of motion, Members' Order of the Day number 3, Local Government Council Controlled Organisations Amendment Bill, for the House to then immediately vote on the third reading of Members' Orders of the Day number 4, Reserve Bank of New Zealand Amendment Primary Function of the Bank Amendment Bill.
Is there any objection to that course of action being taken? There is.
Mr Speaker, point of order.
The Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr Speaker, just before I continue, you recall very well that 3 times I have tried to have a bill discussed in this House with urgency, and that is the bill that waits in my name on the order paper, and on every occasion, guess who declined me? Mr Brownlee and his colleagues over there. Let's not hear...
Order. The member is using a point of order to get involved in a debate, and that is not what we are here for.
The debate has concluded. You should put the question.
The debate hasn't concluded. I'm going to put the question now. The question is that the motion be agreed. This is the bill of Darian Fenton's private member's bill. I'm going to put the documents have been agreed to be tabled. I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me. This debate is interrupted and set down for resumption next sitting day. The House is suspended, and I resume the chair at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for the extended sitting. Ka kite anō, good evening.